I'd now like to invite on stage K Ganesh, founder of Growthstory, promoter BigBasket, Portea, HomeLane, to deliver the keynote address on the topic of why and why not of entrepreneurship achieving impact at scale. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, everybody, and thanks. It's great to see all of you here, despite all the infrastructural question marks and challenges that existed today. Courtesy VIP visits. It's of course a pleasure for me to be addressing entrepreneurs at IMB. We have a long association. I was there when NSRCEL was inaugurated. The building was inaugurated nearly, I think, 22 years ago. 22 years ago, I was there in the inauguration. It's great to see the human service that NSRCEL has been providing in the entrepreneurship. Well before entrepreneurship became a buzzword, unicorns became a buzzword, and it became very, very popular. Great to be here. So basically, even before I started my entrepreneurship journey back in 1990, so 32 years of entrepreneurship before venture capitalists, valuations, unicorns, exits, any of it was there. And obviously the question always has been, should you or should you not do entrepreneurship? Why are we doing this? And the way Indian corporate industry has grown, the salaries have grown, what people get at day zero salary, day one salary, dream, someone else will hire you to help building the dreams. Right? So all of that, how to say. There's a lot of myths also about entrepreneurship. We always feel that if you're an entrepreneur, you're your own boss. But I can tell you with 32 years of entrepreneurship, okay, right? That's actually the worst reason. If you're an entrepreneur, everybody else except you is your boss. Okay, right? Every time the phone rings, every time the customer wants to speak, okay, you have pangs of heart attack. Okay, right? So, and if you're in a B2B business, it's even worse. A large contract. Whenever the contract comes for renewal, again you get pangs of it. Okay, right? Everybody, right? And similarly, when you come in the morning, if one of your employees says, "I want to meet you," okay, that's a nightmare. Okay, right? Okay, right? That's a nightmare. Now it happens in WhatsApp. So every time a message comes, like I want to talk to you. Okay, right? Because if it's about something else, they will actually say that they will state it in the WhatsApp, right? The only reason they want to talk to you is because it's not good news. Okay, right? So there are a lot of it. So everybody is the boss, right from the employee to customer to vendor to anybody. And customer doesn't pay you. You're running after the customer, you run after employee, you run after everybody else. Whereas I've done jobs. I've shifted between corporate. I was CEO of Bharti British Telecom in India, Wipro British Telecom, between my first and second venture. And after that, before that, I used to work at HCL after my MBA. I used to work there. There it was simple. A weekend comes, holiday comes, you're happy. The clock is still ticking. Clock is ticking because you're earning money. Okay, right? You're on a holiday, somebody is going. Here the clock is ticking in reverse. Okay, right? Every time there is a holiday, every time there is a bandh, oh my God, the salary still gets paid, but the business will suffer. Okay, right? And the worst of it, people who are in B2C businesses will definitely appreciate it. February is the worst month because there are 28 days. Okay? Because the income you can earn only for 28 days. Whatever is the business that you're in, you will earn, in those 28 days, you will earn the money. Okay, right? But the salaries are not paid prorated to 28 days. The rent is not paid. All the expenses are fixed on a per month basis. Revenue, profit, if you are fortunate enough to be profitable, or losses, all are prorated to 28 days. Okay, right? So that's that. This is, so we talked about the laws are many. Entrepreneurship is art of making mistakes and learning from them, and then making a whole lot of mistakes again. Okay, right? Or entrepreneur is someone who jumps off the cliff and builds a plane on its way down. All of us know. We start with something and we are trying to figure it out. And the last one is the best. Entrepreneur sleeps like a baby. Okay? Basically, he sleeps for 2 hours and, and wakes up crying after 2 hours. What the hell are you doing? The amount of nightmares you have, and I don't know how many of you, at least I have realized this. In the night when you're sleeping is when all the problems gets magnified multifold times. Okay, right? When I get up in the morning, I'm still happy. I'm still able to, with difficulty, smile and face the problems. But in the night, everything looks like a catastrophe. Okay, right? So that is the challenge. That's next one, please. This thing is not working. Can somebody fix it, please? Yeah. Okay, right. Of course, the benefits of entrepreneurship, why we get into entrepreneurship, are things which are very, very, very well known. Okay, right? We have a passion. We have a passion. We think most of the time foolishly that, okay, you need to be passionate and you need to be stupid to be an entrepreneur. Okay. Otherwise, there is no logic. The chances of success in entrepreneurship, percentage-wise, is so small that nobody will do it. How many of you actually buy lotteries? Raise your hand. How many of you really buy lotteries? Very few people will buy lotteries. But entrepreneurship, we all want to do. So logic, it defines logic that you will go for such a low probability chance of winning. You do it. It's because of that passion. You think that you will be in that 5%. I'm not saying you should not. That's how it's made. So that's a great reason. Obviously, it gives you creative spirit. Whenever my biggest kick out of all the ventures that I've done, every time I do a venture, is when the first order comes, first check comes. Okay? And my first business, most of the time was spent in saying, should an order book look? Should it be vertical or horizontal, the columns in an order book? Okay, right? So, I mean, where do you get that kind of, passion? Where do you get that kind of energy? Where do you get that kind of, all that? The other myth is financial. People always look at some unicorn, somebody who has made money, and thinks you'll make a lot of money in entrepreneurship. Okay. So actually, it's not necessarily true. Okay, right? You work in a corporate job. If you've got good qualification, you get a good job, you get a good placement, you get 1 month off or 3 weeks off, 4 weeks off. Year on year, you get increments, you get bonus, you get options. The amount of money you make can be insane. To make that kind of money in entrepreneurship is not guaranteed. Okay, right? There it's guaranteed, here it's not guaranteed. So that's also a myth, but that's also a reason why people go for it. Okay, right? But the biggest, I think, single biggest thing is impact. Impact at scale. What you do is that. So that really is what drives entrepreneur. What is it? What is my motivation is, I want to build a business that, suppose the business fails, ask the question, who will cry? Obviously, I'll cry. Okay, right? So will my mother-in-law, God bless her. Okay, right? Okay, right? So, but will the customer cry? It should be such a thing that when your business shuts down, people should get up and they should protest on the streets. How can you shut it down? That is really the impact that you create. Okay. In BigBasket in the early days, Vipul Parikh, one of the co-founders, is from IIM Bangalore, distinguished alumnus of IIM Bangalore. Earlier, we said because of stock taking, half day, last day of the month, we used to shut down. Okay, right? Initially it was okay. But when it started becoming a popular business, then people started abusing us. I said, in today's world, where would you shut down half day for business to do stock taking? What happens to deliveries? We never thought so seriously. Grocery you can get from anywhere, right? In Bangalore, we were in Bangalore, and at the time we were in Bangalore and Hyderabad only. I mean, what will happen if the grocery is not there? You will go to some other store. But the fact that it was such a visceral reaction, okay, really means a business. Same thing we do in Portea Medical. We do elder care. We provide a nurse, nursing attendant, healthcare at home. One day, if it's not there, you can imagine what kind of impact it creates. So that is really the impact. Who will cry if your business shut down? You should have mass protest movement on the streets. That's impactful business that you create. Next one, please. So that's all done, okay, right? But some of the challenges, all of you have faced it, are facing it every day that is there, okay, right? There's a lot of freedom, obviously, but it comes with a responsibility. You are responsible for everybody. You are responsible for your employees, you are responsible for your customers, you are responsible for this, which is the toughest thing. Because when you are on your own, when you're working for a corporate, you can leave the job, you can take a sabbatical, you can go anywhere, you will have saving, you will do that stuff. Once you're an entrepreneur, you employ even a few number of people. Their families, their rental income, their food is your responsibility. So the amount of mental toll it takes on the entrepreneur to ensure that the business is able to pay salaries is important. Somebody said, profit, EBITDA, all of that doesn't matter. Entrepreneur first works on cash flow. If the end of the month you have enough cash to pay your expenses, pay your employees, pay your salaries, you are up, about, happy. You don't have it, doesn't matter. Otherwise, people mistake for valuations, all of that is important. Okay, right? But those are all secondary. Basically, at heart, as an entrepreneur, cash flow is king. Cash flow is there, you are done. Cash flow is not there. Whatever they teach you at MBS, sorry, Professor Rishi, but whatever they teach you at MBS does not matter. Cash flow is king, cash flow is that. And last point in that challenge is really the loneliness and mental health. We unfortunately don't talk about it. There are very little support system on it. The mental health of entrepreneur is something which is very rarely addressed. I mean, you have seen the unfortunate incident with Cafe Coffee Day Siddharth. Okay, right? The amount of euphoria you go through, the amount of deep depression that you go through takes a heavy toll. So that is where having institutions like NSRCEL, having incubators, having mentors, having advisors, having people in the system really helps a lot. And this problem is magnified for women entrepreneurs all the more with the additional challenges that they face. The ability to be able to be centered, ability to get mentoring, ability to get advice, ability to speak to people, springboard, helps the network. I'm very happy to see over the last 20 years in India, especially in major metros, enough ecosystem has been built on which entrepreneurs can reach out to, whether it's incubators, accelerators, organizations like TIE or syndicates, all of them has helped us. So if any and every one of you, okay, right, you will go through this challenge. Remember that you're not alone. There's a full ecosystem available, and all of us have gone through. I can tell you, for each of my companies, there's a very thin line between success and failure. Very, very thin line. And most of the time, you don't know which side of the line you are. Okay, right? And meeting the next month's salary has been a challenge for every company. Every company. Even the ones that have been successful, they have had successful exit. We were been through terrible times of running out of cash, running out of ideas, running out of business. It's very, very normal. And that is where the entire ecosystem is there out there to support you. Next. Okay. Let's look at the evolution. Obviously, we have seen startups. We have seen businesses go, but when I say startup, whether venture funded, technology based, new age startup, the way way it has been starting. Right from the 90s and towards end of 90s, we saw initial lot of venture capitalists coming in, companies starting up. You had companies like Naukri, MakeMyTrip.com set up in late 90s to start. Okay, right? That's when internet was starting. That was a high, immediately followed by a downside. The dot-com boom happened, immediately dot-com bust happened. The reason I'm talking about it is even current environment of funding freeze, winter, and all of that stuff is quite normal because we have seen multiple cycles of it. So dot-com boom, dot-com bust happened at that time. Then came 2000s, 2005, 2006, 2007, when we start, again after the dot-com bust, the VC started coming in, venture capital started coming in, risk-taking started, companies like Flipkart and all started during 2005, 6, 7 time frame. Then again Lehman Brothers happened, full freeze happened, it again went down, all quietened down, okay, right? So that is other cycle that happened. Then we saw technology-led companies. When smartphones started coming in, broadband internet started, edtech like Byju's, Paytm started scaling up in the new Paytm model, revised Paytm model, all of that started, okay, right? So we have seen these waves, tectonic shifts in technology developments that really created each of these businesses, okay, right? So then next wave started this entire concept of from India for the world, okay, right? Global SaaS started, it really took on, right? Then COVID hit, okay, right? Again, the huge challenge for the industry, but now we are seeing post-COVID resurgence. Most of the sectors have come out very, very strong and scaling brilliantly. So the message here is, for you and me as entrepreneurs, this evolution will keep happening. You will have ups and downs. Every time there is, as an entrepreneur, there is an opportunity for us to catch something and ride that particular wave. Whether you call it disruption, whether you call it transformation, that is where lies the opportunity, okay, right? So if you are looking to start new, what is the latest? Regenerative AI, okay, right? Whether it actually translates or not, but each one of that is a potential opportunity for you to be able to do it. And I'll talk about ONDC as one opportunity. You're going to have a panel for this. Next one. Next, please. Next slide. Yeah. Okay. And there are several factors that have actually helped in our journey towards this. Okay, right? We have had very good government initiatives, accelerators, incubators coming up, huge amount of venture capital, risk capital funding. That's very important. If you look at global funds which are there, what is happening globally? Okay, right? India has become a favorite destination, perhaps the only destination. China is imploding in itself, looking inward. European markets are very small in terms of total amount of money you can deploy, total amount of returns you can get for a global investor who wants high return, who wants to invest in this asset class, who wants to come in. China is gone. All of you have seen what's happened in China. Okay, right? Europe is too small. US is a very evolved market. So anybody and everybody, if he has to look at outside of US or in addition to US, because you can't put all your money in US, India is the most favorite destination. Okay, yeah. So therefore you have entire opportunity available where globally the funds are looking to deploy in India for this. Okay, right? So the government policies across governments, especially Bangalore has been in the forefront, irrespective of which party has been in power. Central government, the number of policies, number of initiatives on startups, the center stage startups are getting, has helped us a lot. Third is obviously the technology. The fact that India has got one of the lowest data bandwidth rates in the world, smartphone penetration, the availability of internet in nooks and corners of India, cost of smartphones, all of that has propelled us, okay, right, to create startups which use technology for core services. Roti, kapda, makan, healthcare, education, entertainment, you take it anywhere. All core sectors. Not cool, glamorous, technology-based startups. Simple startup delivering egg and milk, delivering food from restaurant, using data, using analytics, using smartphone to be able to do that. Next. Okay, right? And with this, there has been a huge social and economic impact. The previous one, please. Previous one. Okay, right? Whether it is job creation, fostering innovation, addressing social or environmental issues, or local economy. Okay, right? SMEs and startups account for 90% of the job creation. Because as you all know, existing industries will end up actually automating, reducing the number of staff. They don't need more staff. There's more and more robotics and automation that comes in. But along with that, where will the job creation come from? Job creation comes from our startups, SMEs, local. So the amount of impact, whether it's innovation, new IPs being created, making life easier for all of us, whether it is Flipkart or BigBasket or Swiggy or Zomato or Uber or Ola, all of that comes from startups. And the impact that it creates is phenomenal. Next. Right. So in terms of what are the scale, what are the emerging trends that we are doing, we'll talk about that. Next, please. Okay, right. In terms of global trends, fintech obviously has taken very, very strong. The second one is the development of platforms. Okay, right. What is the main difference between the new age businesses and old businesses? Okay, right. You have traditionally businesses were pipeline businesses. What is a pipeline business? Like a similar pipeline, you start with an idea, you manufacture a product, you take it to market, have a distributor, sales guy, sell it, customer will come at the end of the pipe and buy it, provide customer service. So it's a linear value chain. R&D, manufacture, distribution, sales, and actual purchase. Okay, right? So that's a linear value chain. Compare that with the new age business models, which is the platform business model. What are platforms? It's no longer linear. Platforms rely on, at one end, they have consumers, other end they have producers, and the platform is the business in between that connects both, facilitates transactions, charges the marketplace, like a marketplace is a platform, okay, right? Creates liquidity, ensures more and more suppliers join in, more and more consumers join in, and takes revenue as a commission or a platform fee as a small take rate from the entire transaction. Think of Uber, think of Facebook, think of Ola, think of Swiggy. All those are platform businesses that are there. So today, the technology, availability of data, smartphone, the internet has made it possible to create large platform businesses. And you see the value and valuation of platform businesses are phenomenal because that's the business that is there for future. So scalability comes if you build platform or are able to incorporate platform businesses into your scheme of things. Okay, right? So traditional businesses are looking to seeing how can I incorporate platform elements of concept. What are the platform elements of concept? Not your inventory, not just-in-time inventory, but somebody else's inventory. What is the inventory of Uber? Uber doesn't own that cars. Similarly, if you take Airbnb, take Oyo, they don't own the hotels. It's somebody else owning. So not your own inventory, somebody else's inventory. Can you get them to do it? And your job is focused completely on how do I get more and more sellers to come in? How do I get more and more buyers to come in? And how do I facilitate, manage the marketplace, manage the platform so that we are able to do that? So that is a huge opportunity to bring platform principle to your business to scale. So if you're looking at new business, if you're in traditional business, can I learn and bring platform principles into my business so that it becomes scalable. Not my own assets, not my inventory, leverage existing inventory, and it also plays with all the other ecosystem development that's happening. Gig economy. People would love to work part-time. People love to share. Sharing economy. They are happy to share their house, home, room, car for multiple people. So gig economy, sharing economy, all that plays well into platform business so that you are able to do that. The other great opportunity for scale has come from the digital public goods that are coming up now. Whether it is UPI, whether it is ONDC, you're going to have a panel on that separately. It will be a great panel for you. So if you're an entrepreneur today, the fact, just like in earlier days in US, it is actually the roads that led to trade and business because they built roads. Now it is digital infrastructure and digital public infrastructure like UPI, ONDC, and various initiatives that what they call as India Stack has built up. So for you and me as an entrepreneur, we don't have to build the roads. We can use the digital public infrastructure, leverage on top of it, both what it is already there today. If you look at Aadhaar, look at eKYC, each one of this is an opportunity on which we can scale and build large, great businesses which we can do. So in short, technology, disruption, ability to leverage platforms, ability to leverage digital public infrastructure, all of this presents a great opportunity for us going forward. I'd stop here. Thank you very much for this. Any questions? I'm happy to take. Otherwise,
your views on AI affecting things going forward, opportunities in AI.
Yeah, it's a full topic in itself. No, I'm fascinated by AI. I'm still trying to come to grips with ChatGPT and how to use it. I think it is unlike NFT or other things that's there. My personal feeling at this stage, looking at it, this is for real. It's going to come into every aspect of our business. Where is the revenue model? How do we use it? Is still a question. But if you are going to ignore it, it's going to be at your own peril. Okay, right? So clearly, I'm not an expert on this to be able to say, but what people are saying is some of the jobs will go away. Different kinds of jobs will come. Irrespective of whatever sector you are, you need to see how to use AI as a tool, almost like using internet or smartphone as a tool, how to use it as a tool to redefine your job, to redefine your business. We have a business in chatbot. We are trying to see how to reposition that business using AI tools so that we are able to deliver. It is quite scary because many of the elements like customer support, for example, all of you might have read, there's a homework help company called Chegg, which lost 50% of market cap because Chegg's business model was it used to provide homework help. You used to have a subscription service called Chegg Study, which you pay $20. Overnight lost 50% because they said people are using ChatGPT for homework help. They don't need it. So you need to figure that out. That's the thing. But it's there to stay. Okay.
Sir, you've had, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Experience taking so many startups to and converting them into successful ventures. My question was regarding outsourcing technology development to by startups. What's your take on that? Is that a good thing to do? Or
Yeah. Firstly, my successful startups. Thank you for the kind words. But behind each one, there are at least 10 other startups that don't succeed. I don't talk about it, so people don't know. So it's a question of more startups, a lot more failures than successes. So having said that, no. So technology outsourcing. See, technology. If your business model relies on technology as a competitive strength, that becomes a core strength. To outsource that would be very difficult. Okay, right? But if that is not your core strength, your technology enabler for your business is important element of your business, then please outsource it. To build a technology in-house is not easy. But you have no choice if that is your core business. If I want to be in a restaurant business, I need to cook my food. I can be an aggregator and use multiple restaurants. So the answer to your question will depend upon how critical is technology as a right to win. Is that the secret sauce? Then you can't outsource it. Okay, right? IP will go away.
Yeah, I had a question here.
Yeah.
Here, top right.
Yeah.
You mentioned impact investing was a growing trend and sustainable business models. How do you think investors can balance impact with financial returns? Because sometimes making impact comes at a cost of financial returns. So how should investors think about balancing financial impact and returns?
Yeah, so I think the very fact that it's an impact investor means they are focused on profit. Okay, right? There are two ways people have looked at it. One, they are saying if I have for investing in this asset class 100 rupees, can I allocate 10 rupees to say that 10 rupees will go only into impact investing? ESG, sustainable goals, sustainability, where you pretty much say that I am going to jabardasti take some small portion and put it on impact because that's my way of giving back. In which case you are reconciled to having a slightly lower return on that. Okay, right? So they call it triple bottom line or double bottom line. So there is a bit of trade-off that you're willing to take. It's not charity. It is not for profit. It is not a grant. It is for investing. But you are willing to take for one portion of it, a smaller one. That normally has been the philosophy that has been working. Impact funds have come up that have raised money from their limited partners or investors saying that we are going to invest only in impact. And the guys who are investing money says that out of 100, I'm going to put $10 into this category. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Ganesh.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
When you talked about the AI and other things, my question is, we keep reading about the technological singularity, and it is not very far that when the computers are going to overtake the human beings. So do you believe in that? And how, if yes, then what is your own thought process in terms of where are we and what is the kind of prognosis you have about it?
Yeah, I actually don't have any program. I'm also like you, reading the same this one and wondering where it's going. I mean, if you had asked me the same question 6 months back, I would have rubbished it, saying that it's unlikely that it will present any threat. But if you look at the kind of regenerative AI and the kind of responses that you're getting, you can't differentiate between human and this. What's going to happen? Will they take over? What is the risk at this? I mean, it's fascinating to read. I'm still a reader in this. Yeah.
So Ganesh, perhaps this question is for the next panel, but I'll throw it to you. I think two of the most underrated things India has ever given to the world are the Upanishads and the UPI.
Yeah.
Are we recognizing UPI so much? I don't think people have got the... I mean, it's such a... I think I would put it as an invention of the century, if you ask me.
Yeah. No, so I think, the digital public infrastructure panel can answer it. I 100% agree with you that UPI, the way the world over, the governments are appreciating it. They want to collaborate. They want to see it. UPI is a phenomenal breakthrough. I don't think we have scratched the surface in terms of utilizing it. Even today, if you look at me, today morning, before I came here, I had to sign some 300 pages document and put a seal and put a signature for some document which nobody is going to read. Okay, right? We still have not come to a stage where we are trying to, where you have got that UPI to be able to come and yeah, Sharad is there. So yeah, that's why I said it's for the next panel to be able to do it. But it's a great invention, great scale, great achievement. In terms of translating it, where I don't have to sign 300 pages, where we do this, we still have to come. But it's early days. I'm sure it will come up in terms of this. Not just that, they're talking about digitally verifiable documents, M-Aadhaar coming up, so mobile face recognition. A lot of it will come up and you will start seeing the impact on that. Not yet done, but good part is early days. But phenomenal development, and the world is watching us. I mean,
Sir, what's your opinion on the, Mr. Ganesh, I'm here.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on the green entrepreneurship?
No, so again, the entire right now the whole thing seems to have come back again. People, right from battery, from this, the amount of funds that are coming in is phenomenal. This time it seems to be for real, is what I feel. And I think the amount of focus on sustainability and the move that is happening, I think it's extremely encouraging. I'm very positive about it. I think, I'm sorry, we have run out of time.
One last question.
Can I ask that?
You mentioned about ONDC, so will that be an alternative to platforms like Amazon, Flipkart in coming years?
Yeah, I mean, by the way, Amazon, Flipkart also want to be part of ONDC, but you will have a panel on digital public goods. Let them answer that in the interest of time. I'm very, very bullish on ONDC. It democratizes the thing. It makes it more inclusive. It's an opportunity for people, a lot more people to participate and remove the strong monopolies of large platforms. One of the things it does, it's interoperable and it removes the monopolies, so I'm very encouraged by it. Obviously, there is a lot of unanswered questions that need to get answered on building, how does it build trust? Today I buy from Amazon, Flipkart, BigBasket because I trust them completely because they own end-to-end. If you disaggregate it, who owns it, what is it? There are many unanswered questions, but I think that's a great way to go. I'm bullish in future about it. Thank you. Thanks, everybody, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ganesh, for that incredible keynote. Lots of takeaways from your presentation.